handful of presenters, a mass of microphones, and a whole load of talk. This is TigerTails Radio.
And good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome to TigerTails Radio, Season 8, Episode 19.
You almost sounded questioning then.
19.
Ooh.
I know, right? Who'd have thought it? We'd have got this far. We have now successfully celebrated 10 years of TigerTails Radio with alcohol, as is tradition.
And regret, as is tradition.
Speak for yourself. I didn't get drunk. Despite consuming alcohol, I didn't consume enough.
We didn't actually get that drunk in the end. But I'm sat there wondering where I put my stylus. I'm probably sat on it, aren't I?
You're probably sat on it.
Whee.
If you're watching the webcam, you may notice that there's a slight absence of people this week. We have no Mr. Introduction because he is currently imbued with the illness. And we have no Xavier because he's imbued with the technical difficulties.
Should I just stop doing that walking away Hulk music now?
Yeah.
Okay, I can look for my stylus.
Yeah, you find your stylus, wherever it may be. It's the Lord of the Stylus, says he.
The deuce did I put it?
What I'd like to know is why TigerTails Radio never shows up in my subscriptions feed until, like, forever after the show's finished. But when I actually go to the TigerTails Radio page, it's there.
Act as if the YouTube subscriptions feed actually has any sense to it.
Or actually works. Yeah, you're quite correct there.
Oh, right, it's still inside this book, that's why.
You're using it as a bookmark.
As well as the built-in bookmark.
Aha, I see. Because you are the smarts or something. So yes, welcome to TigerTails Radio. Welcome to everybody who has decided to join us on this DJ channel. Hello, DJ.
Hello.
And yes, you can join us live in IRC, or you can join us in the YouTube comments. Because we are there, we are watching.
Are we?
I am anyway, yeah, I don't know about you. You're too busy being on a tablet to do anything like that, so you don't watch it.
I'm doing show-like things.
You're doing stuff that's related, I see.
Yes.
I believe you.
Socially related.
Utterly, he says, looking in his book.
A tablet.
No, I'm watching a 30-second...
Oh, that's way behind. That's more than 30
know.
seconds behind at this point.
Well, I don't know, actually, because it was you finding your tablet in your book, so that wasn't that long ago. But this is the joys of the first 20 minutes of the show, where we evaluate just how badly things are going and break everything.
Right.
And
if it ain't broken, it will be.
Yeah, we break it. I have a little tiny bit of gaming news, and Felix has also sent me over some gaming news, so I better get that open for the gaming news section. But before then, it brings us to review of the week. So, Felix, in as many words as you want to use...
Not it.
Oh, tough. You're going first.
I don't even remember half the week at this point. There was much warm.
I'm going to say, were you that pissed?
There was so much warm.
Yeah. Lame.
And my blondes just went, warm, shut everything down.
Sex drive, shut.
Tried shopping for a fan.
That was silly.
The only things that were available were the stupid £500 to £900 Dyson giant bubble wand of windage.
The Dyson giant...
Yeah, the Dyson bladeless fan. It just looks like a giant bubble wand, and it's way overpriced for what it is.
Yes, it's Dyson. It will be overpriced for what it is. It's like those stupid Dyson hand dry things.
My God, you'd think that if we just, hadn't called it the Dyson Sphere, we'd have been able to afford to make one by now.
Ha ha ha. But there you go, that's Dyson for you.
Geekery jokes.
At least the quality is up there, he said, allegedly, only having one Dyson vacuum cleaner that repeatedly failed on him. But there we go.
I can't even remember the last Dyson product I owned. What was it?
I don't know. So you've had a thoroughly enthusiastic week, have you?
Yeah, and then there's the, I had to go to a wedding over the weekend.
Oh, nice.
One of my oldest friends got married to his girlfriend of 11 years.
Oh, wow.
Yay!
Talk about leaving in a while.
Yeah. Well, they didn't want to rush into anything, obviously.
Obviously. I was going to say, there's not rushing, and then there's 8 years.
Sadly, he can no longer call his children little bastards.
Well, he can.
And he's not allowed to have sex. It's the rules.
Yeah, it is. That is the rules. But he can still kill his children bastards because they were born outside of wedlock.
But they're now legitimised.
No, Getting married doesn't just make your children illegitimate. They were still born outside of wedlock. They're still bastards. They may be claimed now, but they're still bastards. Getting married doesn't change that fact. If it was a birth outside of a wedlock, it was a bastard birth. Just like Jesus. Oh, sorry, was Mary married to God before God knobbed her? I don't think so.
I remember it not. Click the link, you bastard.
No, I didn't.
Then I tried having breakfast at Sprinkles, and that didn't go out so well. They're not a nice place.
I thought Sprinkles were like lovely and everyone loved them and raved about.
I'm sure that the waffles and everything else are nice, but the staff there don't listen when you're taking an order. And like I said, to the Danish that I got when I eventually got it, just felt and tasted like it was left in the glass jar overnight. And their mocha was bitter as all get out. A mocha is meant to be chocolatey. Not sweet, but chocolatey. But no, this was bitter. It's like, here, have all of the dark chocolatey bits.
That's not cool. No one likes that.
Nobody. But apparently the waffle was quite nice. Celine couldn't finish it, which was too chocolatey even for her.
Is that a thing?
Apparently.
Can there be too chocolatey even for Celine's?
Yeah, apparently there is.
That does sound like an advertising motto for something.
At least the decor was nice.
I've never been in Sprinkles.
We only went in there. We tried to arrange a point where I could actually go in. So we decided first thing in the fucking morning on a weekend.
Sounds like a plan. When there'll be no other bugger around.
Yeah. Unfortunately, this is during a long weekend of us having to walk around a lot and me being out. And I spent the whole weekend pretty much just the stress of it, just conking out the moment I got home.
Basically like me after every work day.
Pretty much, yeah. And of course, the housemate of doucheness has started doing his music again.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought he'd calm that down.
He'd calmed it down. He started using the TV for his radio instead.
Yeah.
Because the loophole is, I said I would put my very hi-fi on loudly. So I've had to it's permanently present TV background. The sort of thing where I can just about drown it out if I put my own stuff to respectable levels.
Mm-hmm.
But I can't record because it's still there.
Yeah.
And today he decided, nah, fuck that.
Back to the music.
Yeah. Which is a bitch, because I was hoping to keeping an ear out for the British gas repairman.
Oh, good luck with that.
Yay. No, thankfully he fucked off out like 5 minutes before the repairman came.
That was useful.
And the repairman couldn't repair the cooker because he's actually meant to be using the gas stuff. And we have a hybrid.
Oh.
So now we've got to wait till next Monday.
Yay!
So much fun. It's a great thing my tablet's been put on my knee, because before that, it just looked like this giant red arrow pointing to my crotch.
Haha, ladies.
Ladies.
That you're not allowed to have because you've already got one.
Yes. And I can't cheat. It's too much effort.
Amen to that. Your week sounds a bit more interesting than my week. I had Monday and Tuesday off, as we know, because radio birthday, so people staying over. So I took the Tuesday off work as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, so everyone could like crash, and it was all cool. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday went to work. Oh my god, why did I bother doing that? I should have just had the whole week off. Oh, holy crap! What a week last week was. One of those weeks you'd like to forget really quickly.
That bad, huh?
Oh yeah. It was like, well, this is shenanigans and bullshit. Let's not play this game anymore. And the rotor kept saying, hey, by the way, you're doing Twilight Shift. And I was like, hey, by the way, fuck off. I am so not doing the Twilight Shift. That shit
For starters, I
finished.
hate Mormon values. Wrong Twilight, huh?
That shift has finished for me. I was contracted to do the Twilight Shift until the 20th July. I am not doing it on the 23rd or 4th or 5th or 6th or 7th. Fuck off. And the answer is no. So, yeah, didn't do those. Probably going to hear about that at some point. He's like, you should have obeyed the rotor. The rotor can suck my dick. Not happening.
I think I just bookmarked all my news this week in the wrong places entirely. And I now have to find it.
Go you.
Go me. Right, it's not in the porn folder.
You actually have a folder for porn?
No.
I just have memories. I type in all the websites by memory. That was probably a little bit too much information. No,
Nah.
but yeah, the weekend was quite nice. Saturday I spent doing nothing, just basking in the heat, going, this is glorious, give me more. And then Sunday I got picked up stupidly early o'clock in the morning and taken to Swanage.
Oh yes, the family obligation.
Indeed, we went to the Swanage Carnival. The actual parade bit I kind of live tweeted with pictures as it happened, taken from the viewpoint of someone who didn't know they'd gone to a carnival and wondered what the fuck was going on. Which made quite an interesting and entertaining tweet feed.
Oh, that must have been fun.
It was fun. Basically going, what the fuck is this? It's like, the way it happened as well. First of all, it was just a big stream of, like, little cars. Then that was followed by motorbikes. Then the police.
Yeah.
And then the Coast Guard. Then the Fire Brigade. Or the Fire Brigade, then the Coast Guard even. And then Heart Radio. And I was like, oh, that's a bit fucking random. It's like they're worse than ambulance chasers, you know? They're following all these emergency services, and it's a fucking radio station trying to get a story. Oh, that's just shocking. Obviously it wasn't, it was a parade, but still. And then, yeah, lots of weird and wonderful parades, and I've learned that Swanage is very much stuck in the 50s, because most of the floats were either celebrating the war, or the old way of doing things, or kind of old-timey middle-class culture and stuff like that. But then they'd be interspersed with very, very modern things, like Indian and Jamaican music stalls that had the bass so hard you couldn't actually breathe because it was interrupting your natural rhythms. Or big gay parade floats. Not actually gay, but they were big and colourful and could have very easily been gay if they were.
We'll just pretend they were.
Yeah, let's pretend they were for the sake of comedy. And it was a very interesting mix-up between these two. And it's like, what the hell is going on? And then the local child football team float went past, filled of the local children's football team, looking like they wanted to be anywhere but on that float. And some old 1950s kind of singers and dancers, you know, just doing tunes to the music from Chicago and dancing away to it. Most of them looking like they didn't want to be there either.
TK,
Yeah.
I left my glass of water over there, and I've run out of that blue bar that lets me use my force powers.
Aww. I don't know where your over there is, but I do know that I've left my lemonade out there as well.
Well,
So-
I've got to get up anyway. Where's your lemonade?
By the table, I think.
Oh, yeah, there it is. Right. Doing things.
Things are important. Of course, while we were watching said parade and I was wasting all of my phone battery tweeting pictures from it in a big spammy fashion, I caught all of the sun and had none of the liquid. So I had headaches, I was getting...
Sorry, dropping the studio.
I see. You've killed the backing music.
I'm sorry.
I don't know how you killed the backing music.
Is it back?
It's back.
Okay.
In music.
Whoosh.
But yeah, I can't put this down anyway, it's not going to be on camera, is it? But yeah, I caught all of the sun. I am now so pink. I don't know if that can be seen on camera. But my face is pink, my arms are really, really pink. It's like I am just 110% sunburned.
Sounds like the beginning of some kind of, pun. I am so pink. How pink are you?
Oh, so pink. And Alex got me a hat as well. Which I
Yes.
can't really wear with these headphones. Well, I can wear it with the headphones, just about.
Yeah, I'd say you can just about.
Just about get away with that.
So I've got to
I have
redo all of the things.
I have condensation on my tits with that lemonade dripped on me.
I moved the cushions, so now I have lower back support
Aha!
and something to put my arms on.
This is a good thing.
Oh, it is. So much.
So much of a good thing.
Hmm.
And I've bought a new hat as well.
And I'm actually going to move the studio to the other side.
I wish I could see what you were doing.
You
Oh,
will.
There's my hat.
There we go.
Ah, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
Yay for the delays.
But
Not
the
too bad.
stream hasn't quite caught up to me yet.
My hat is wonky. I can't fix it.
I'll just sit here doing the evil hand steeple of evil.
You do that. DJ says in channel that he caught none of the sun because he had the good sense to put sun cream on and when he went out on Sunday. Yeah, I didn't anticipate Sunday being quite so sunny. I thought
No.
Sunday was going to be kind of, it said hazy and cloudy sunshine, not
Oh.
scorching, invincible heat of death sunshine.
That was what I spent part of my week doing. Nearly blowing up the kettle so I could fix my hat.
Why did you blow up the kettle?
No, nearly. Nearly.
Why did you nearly
Well,
blow up
I
the kettle?
required steam. So I figured the best thing to do was to put the kettle on with plenty of water. Put a teaspoon very gently in the slot where it'd usually go back up to. And then grab Alex's banana, and use that to spray the teaspoon. So that way I've got a steady supply of steam.
Okay.
And I could then use that to steam the brim of the hat and then put it back down, put some books on it. And of course, when I took away the teaspoon and the banana, it refused to automatically click off. So I had to
Okay.
quickly jam the kettle off, and it's like for about 5-10 minutes, it would just not shut off
down.
when it reached the right point. Thankfully, it seems to be okay now.
You obviously pissed it off briefly. It was not happy with you, boy.
Like, you want steam? I'll give you steam.
I will give you all of the steam. How dare you?
No.
I just want to sleep, though. It was a long weekend. It was a long Sunday without much liquid.
A lot of that going round, actually.
The heat does cause tiredness, I found.
Yeah, I mean, Alex is feeling ill, so he's gone home to sleep. Celine was exhausted about 20 minutes after getting into work.
I'm just lucky I get to sit down in a job and have air conditioning.
Well, it turns out she'd started taking she had to take her epilepsy meds today. So drowsiness was actually the side effect.
That sucks.
Yeah,
They say it may cause drowsiness.
they do. So I told her not to operate any heavy machinery or dragons on the way home.
But it doesn't say dragons on the box.
It doesn't, but it goes without saying.
It doesn't. You can operate dragons.
You do not want to nod off whilst operating a dragon.
So many connotations.
That's
So many. I just couldn't even begin to go there.
only about 12.
On the plus side, though, I did get to play with Steam Trains on Sunday. Because Norden, which is near Swanage, has a park and ride scheme. And the park and ride involves the Swanage Railway. So you park up in Norden, you pay a few pennies for the car park, then you pay a shit ton of money to board a steam train to go into Swanage for the day. Which is quite nice. I like steam trains.
Yeah.
We got a lovely little locomotive which I want to steal and use on the Lymington to Brockenhurst branch line down here in the south. He's like, we deserve
This
these.
is not a statement of intent. Honest.
Well, if I ever win the Euro Millions, you know, like one of the big 120 billion jackpots they have, I am totally going to buy that branch line. I'm just going to go, no, okay, here's a big fat check. Give me that branch line. And I'm going to run steam trains on it because fuck yeah. And it should be a regular scheduled steam service. Because fuck yeah, for regular service steamed. Or regular steam service even. Not one of these once a week jobbies. I want regular steam because that'll draw the tourists down to Lymington and Brockenhurst and to the New Forest. And they can camp in the New Forest, then go and pay the trains. See, makes economic business sense.
TK, every time you go to the New Forest, it's camping.
In all fairness, every time I go anywhere, there's camping to some degree. Not just in the forest, kids. But that is a master plan. That, and I also want to start up a new adults TV channel. Well, not just channel, but like a TV studio. Not adult as in porn, but adult as in letting all the adults do the programs that let the adults do what they've always wanted to do but never could. My first priority is Funhouse. Did you ever used to watch Funhouse with Pat Sharp?
Not that I remember.
Well, basically, it was a kind of a quiz showy type game to start with. You'd have two teams, normally like a boy and a girl each team, and there would be 3 games where there'd be just ways to get points, normally involving lots of guns. Then there'd be a 3-lap kind of go-kart Grand Prix, and then the winning team with the most points would get to run around a massive, great big playhouse, collecting prizes, which were normally naff little things like, "Oh, you've won a state-of-the-art video games console, Master System." Things like that. You've won a stereo cassette recorder. You know, things like that. You know, a little Sony Walkman or something. which at the time were kind of mid-range at best, but that kind of price, and the kids would love it. But you don't ever get kids near the studios. You know, they occasionally have a coach party for some occasional Scottish kids or something.
Yeah.
But they normally went to schools and invited a couple of kids from each school. But you'd never ever get your school come down. And I've spoken to so many people who say, if that came out for adults, I would totally be up for that. Do it, make it happen. So I was like, this is starting to sound viable. I mean, if only for one series, you know, I'm fairly sure that, you know, a 6-episode series, you know, you're only going to need 12 teams. That shouldn't be too hard to find.
You'd think, wouldn't you?
Yeah, you would think. You'd hope anyway. So
I should actually remember to plug in as well.
that'd be nice. And then other game shows that I know kids want to play, but especially things like you could also redo the Krypton Factor again. We could actually get blockbusters done properly. You know, all the good fun things. And let the adults have a go, but still keep the crappy cheap ass prizes that the kids got back in the day, just for that pure retro
Do
value.
Nightmare with some drunken American college jocks.
Oh, did you see the YouTube remake of Nightmare?
Yes.
That
I think I
was-
showed you that one, didn't I?
No, I saw that in the Geek Week thing long before it came out, and I was just sat there waiting for it, just refreshing YouTube so I could watch it stream.
Oh,
live.
and the actual, the new episode
Yeah,
that came out. Yes, I remember this.
yeah, that was awesome. Cheesy as hell, and a bit stifled in the acting because obviously they just quickly clubbed it together.
Yeah.
But really, really, really enjoyable.
I showed you one before that, which, you know, if, what was it called? It wasn't called Nightmare. It's the parody called Bad Dream.
Don't remember.
Where
That.
people just basically yelled incoherently and the guy died every 10 seconds.
So Nightmare then.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, I would like to bring back Nightmare, especially if we could get Hugo Weaving to play the Dungeon Master again. Because I think he's up for it. Don't really care who the villain. I know some people want the original villains back, but I don't know if they'd be up for it.
Oh, speaking of villains and actors and stuff, have you seen the new Mad Max trailer?
Yeah, no, yes,
Yeah?
no. I don't know.
Well, it just seems that Tom Hardy just cannot escape that mask. Everything he's in now, he will be wearing a Bane mask.
Oh well. No, then I don't think I have seen it. I think I've seen a review of it.
I begin to think I may have been typecast. It doesn't work well with a Coda glass.
It's like, nope, you look better with the mask on. Just keep the mask on, dude. Look better with it on.
He does have a generic Play-Doh face.
I'd say more Mr. Potato Head. Because you can kind of add things on and resculpt him. That's probably going to be taken away out of
And
context.
here's the mask hat on, and you just plug that in, and here's your ears.
I'm not sure of your nose. I want a different nose. Let's put this nose on. It's like, who do you think I am, Michael
Here are the
Jackson?
Judge Doom googly eyes.
Oh, hell yeah. We'll be done. And the Judge Doom Power Fist.
Remember me, Batman? When I killed your parents, I talked just like this. Which is just an octave higher than my usual voice.
And totally not done digitally. Totally.
I still love some of the extras from DVD, because those deleted scenes were actually really terrifying.
They were when you were young. I mean, they got censored out the OTV.
I don't know,
version.
even by the like adult standards, the whole he's got the toon head on his head thing.
Mhm.
He just rinses up and shower. You just see red drips into the bottom of the shower, and then this half-melted face circling the drain.
Yeah, but that never made it on telly.
That's what I mean.
It never made it into the film. It was a deleted scene.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The deleted scenes, they were terrifying.
Yeah, but they were. It was awesome. Well, I thought you were implying it made it onto the telly. I was going.
No.
I know it didn't. I've seen this film enough times. I know it didn't make it into the film. I've been Toonaroon. Bob Hoskins was brilliant as Eddie Valiant. It's a shame he's dead. It's like Who Framed Roger Rabbit 2 if it ever came out, or whatever name it was coming under. It may not have ever.
Oh no,
been
but at least
intended
we
to
have
Eddie
the
Valiant.
final book. That came out last November, remember?
That comment came out entirely not sarcastically. This is confusing,
It wasn't meant sarcastically.
which is even more confusing.
Are we just used to sarcasm?
No, it's just the second book was a load of drivel, so the third book I'm not really holding out any hope for.
Apparently the third book was actually pretty good.
Okay. It seems like the second book, he saw the film and thought, okay, so how can I kind of half make this canon into what I've already written? I know, I'll butcher it so everything works like this now.
Well,
And just
I could
utterly
see what you'd kind of
departed.
want to change aspects. I mean, the way tombs worked in the first book, it was not even on the border of existential horror, it just annexed a large portion of the land of existential horror.
Well, don't forget, the tombs in the old one were the kind of the
There were short-lived clones that they spun off to take all the damage for them,
not
if I
necessarily.
remember rightly.
Not all the time. A tomb could do that. That's the Roger Rabbit in the Who censored Roger Rabbit
Yeah.
was one of those short-lived clones because Roger had been bumped off long before that.
Yeah.
Although strangely is back in the next book. But yeah.
Well, duh. The case was over. That means there's a new episode. That means everything is back the way it was.
The Family Guy reset.
Toon logic.
No, fucking episodic, fucking series logic.
Yup.
Any series that doesn't have an overarching story, that's exactly what will happen. By the end of the episode, or episodes if it's a two-parter, status quo will be established.
It's the same for animation as it is for metal. When status quo is your god, you really need to rethink things.
It isn't just animation, though. There are plenty of TV series that do it as well. Especially the kind of the Monster of the Week TV series.
Mm.
It's like, yeah, they might have a small element of overarching story, but generally you can watch them in any order.
That's why Babylon 5 is pretty much the best thing to happen to television.
Really?
It was pretty much the first, big television series, the long-form story format. Which everything wasn't just okay again after another episode.
Oh,
Trust me on that.
I'm
And
just-
Deep Space Nine came out at the same time, did the same thing, but it actually was they found out it was a literal rip-off of Babylon 5. Because the network that made Deep Space Nine had actually been approached and given, here's the story bible for this Babylon 5 thing we want to make. Do you want to do it? No. 2 years later, we've done this thing, and it's just like Babylon 5, but not.
If you had a superhero mentor, who would it be?
Me?
Yeah.
Ooh.
I mean, I can narrow it down for you. You've got a choice of Superman, Iron Man, Wolverine, Spider-Man, Thor, the Hulk, Wonder Woman, or Professor X.
You see, if this is the comics, I have to make it a choice between Spider-Man and Iron Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought you'd go Professor X personally, but there you go.
Well, he is your generic kind mentor figure.
So which one would you have then, Iron Man or Spider-Man?
Strangely enough, even though I don't really like Spider-Man, I think that he would be a better mentor than Tony Stark would be.
Okay. So, your superhero name is Flurry. Your power is weather control. And you seem to have the highest stats in durability and intelligence. But yeah,
That actually makes sense in real life.
you're not so hot on speed, and strength is a bit lacking as well. But you've got reasonably good agility and stamina.
Right.
That's
Let's just add the words "in bed" to the end of that, shall we?
So, your name is Flurry.
In bed.
Your power is weather control.
In bed.
Whereas I think I would be probably much more of a Superman one. Because I reckon he's got a lot more patience than Spider-Man. Spider-Man does get too emo when he didn't do what he said. Whereas I reckon Superman could just fly up in space.
I don't know, as
scream
far
out
as most of the
into
culture,
space.
I just started going, well, Spider-Man's actually made most of the mistakes and learned from them. But apart from when he was being, driven psychotically angry by an alien symbiote, for the most part, he's actually weathered everything pretty damn well. Apart from the comic that shall not be named.
Whereas apparently mine would be TikTok and the power of time manipulation.
Isn't that already a Spider-Man villain?
I don't know. Rather lacking in strength, but rather good in all other aspects.
This is your filler stuff, isn't it?
Oh, yes. Well, that, and I just saw it on Facebook and thought, oh, this would be interesting. Because I know you like your comic book stuff.
I am the superhero guy.
Yeah, whereas I potentially couldn't give a shit. I've never really been... You see, the comic books, as they were,
Yeah.
well, they weren't funny. They were these big, arcing stories of drama and grit. which isn't a comic. Comics are funny.
We went through a period where everything was super campy. The Silver Age. And then we went through the 90s, in which, you know, grimdark, everybody had to have the word blood or pain misspelt somehow in their names.
Yeah.
And
And then I had
now
Max
that's the
Payne.
era that Frank Miller has never come out of.
I mean, even Sonic the comic went that way for a while.
And now that's...
Fucking Sonic.
And Watchmen was part of the start of that, but that was something that came out at the beginning of the whole let's make everything dark and gritty. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was a great concept. That's what made it so influential at the time. Yeah, we're sort of sagging more towards, say, let's have like a serious storyline, and we'll try to balance it out with just enough comedy moments and then side stories to make it not weigh on you so much.
But it's still not a comic, in my opinion. It's a serialized graphic novel.
Yeah.
And thus should be
Like,
called
the
that.
comic is actually pretty much dead.
The comic is the Beano, the Dandy, the Top of the Beans, and all the others. Dandy now only exists online. You can still get the Beano in stores. I saw one the other day in the wild.
Are you
in
sure
a
it just
shop.
wasn't just an archaeological remnant?
No, there was a current up-to-date episode of the Beano in a shop. I was like, what? Wait, what? This still exists? I am shocked. I've got the Beano app on my phone, and every now and again I will purchase a new comic and read it on the phone because it's still quite enjoyable. I do like the Beano. But yeah, I saw one in the wild in the shops, and I thought, well, this is strange. Not used to this. I was very nearly tempted to buy it, but I thought, no, I will leave it for more deserving people to purchase. Because there's bound to be someone who it's their weekly subscription they kind of get without actually subscribing to it. And they're going to be pissed if I end up buying it instead of them. And I've just seen a picture of Patrick Stewart with two furries, and he's signed it. Either that, or he wears the shirt with his name on it. Really, why would somebody do that? Dear Patrick Stewart, why would you pose with the furries? Surely you know
Because
that's
he
bad
is
for your
king of the Twitters and pictures thereon.
health. Yeah. I think it's Patrick Stewart anyway. His autograph definitely looks like a Patrick-ish. And the surname looks like a Stewart. I'm not sure. It doesn't actually say. But it was taken at Comic-Con, so it might be.
Loads of stuff got announced at Comic-Con.
Did it just?
And then, anybody that had been following the Firefly MMO had just been sat there waiting to hear news, because they said we will be, showing some pretty cool stuff and quite possibly give you the release date. And they had literally more than 1,000 people show up to the point where they said, look, we've run out of standing room, okay?
Put it up on the video screens.
Yeah.
Right, in that case, if we talk about Comic-Con and news, it must be time for...
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
So, on you go with your Firefly gaming news, because I know you've got some.
But it's mostly the trailer that got announced, as well as them saying we've got registration open. And by the way, if you register before the end of August, you get a cool starter ship designed by the guy who did most of the design in the series. And then they went, by the way, we have everybody back, including that guy who's dead. In fact, he's back twice. He's doing like 2 or 3 extra characters.
Wow. When
Because
he comes back, he comes back.
Alan Tudyk is actually a fairly prolific voice actor, surprisingly.
That man's a badass.
Actually, it's surprising. And you listen to him in his role as like Walsh or as King Candy, and then you hear that, and then you don't actually hear anything of Sonny from iRobot, even though he was him. Gasp. Yeah. Alan Tudyk was the robot in iRobot.
Oh, there you go. I never watched that robot. I read the book instead. That was a much better book than it was the film.
Yeah. The
Film was shit. Oh no,
it was an
resemblance to the book.
advert for things.
That too, yeah.
It's like, let's just do a loving close-up of this JVC hi-fi.
Da, 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 da.
And oh my god, here are his antique Nike basketball sneakers, which came out at the same time as the movie.
Oh come on, nowhere near as bad as I can't go fighting zombies or no, not zombies. Fucking what were they?
Kryptonians?
No, vampires or something. What? The Blade series, Blade 3.
I don't know. I stopped watching after 2.
It's like I can't go fighting anything without syncing my iPod first. I was like, you said that. You said that
You said
in
that.
a film. I hope you forever feel shame. There's product placement, there's blatant product placement, and then there's that.
So, in what is recent gaming news,
Oh, yes.
Duke Nukem 3D is about to be released on the Sega Genesis.
What?
There are
How does that even work? It needed the 32X to get Doom to run.
There's a group called Pico Interactive who release quite a lot of games on archaic systems. And I'm actually trying to click the link so I can bring up a list of things. Click. Let's see. They managed to bring out redo Super Noah's Ark 3D.
It's not something anybody wanted.
They made a career out of bringing old games to
Older systems.
And making new games for old systems.
Which is
it's
respectable.
It's a whole retro resurgence that's going on at the moment.
Which is quite cool.
And Dork and Imp is a completely new game that they're making for the Super Nintendo. What else have they done?
I had a look at Mega Drive coding. It involved learning the 68,000 instruction set, and I was like, no.
I know they managed to make it a Super 4-in-1 multi-cart with SNES.
Then I had a look
Yeah,
at
there are loads of people just bringing out stuff. I mean, Cinemaware are working with Watermelon Games to bring It Came from the Desert to the Genesis.
Oh, wow. I want to know how they're bringing Duke Nukem 3D to the Genesis. Because that's going to take a feat of engineering. And some really, really low quality graphics.
Well, apparently they haven't just taken the code and put it on a cartridge. It's actually a full-on release that they managed to get working. And they actually have the rights to do it as well. They acquired the right to publish the game.
Okay. Not officially licensed.
Yeah, all
by
we've got is
Sega.
a gameplay video, and I won't play it because...
No, but you'll Facebook it to me so I can have a look at it.
Yes, let me click share.
Okay.
Wait for it to come up. Excuse me.
You are hereby excused.
I've sent you the link. It's like, yay. Yo, dog, I heard you like retro.
So I gave you some retro to put in your retro so you can retro with retro and retro. And oh my god.
Yeah.
Haha. Oh my god.
And the BAFTA...
Holy shit, it's actually running Duke Nukem 3D. As I say, really, really low resolution, but
Yeah, but that's the Genesis for you.
and low frame rate. And
And
this is-
you remember how crappily pixelated Exhumed was? I mean,
oh yeah.
that's pretty much the pinnacle of first-person shooting on the Genesis. Apparently, next year, the BAFTA British Game Awards are going to be switching up their categories.
Oh really?
They're going to be dropping 2 categories in favour of 2 completely new ones.
Wow.
The 2 new... What have they said that they're replacing? Anyway, the 2 new categories are for original property and persistent game. So basically, they seem to be targeting the new trends for gaming and the next-gen things that are happening.
But can they make the award ceremonies any less cringeworthy?
I have no idea.
Probably not. That's half the fun of watching them actually, because they are just so bad.
Apparently, with persistent game, it's more acknowledging publishers that actively support a game after release with new content, rather than actual persistent content. The categories they've dropped for next year are the action adventure and strategy and simulation.
Really?
Yeah,
I wonder why.
I am not sure.
Maybe they don't think there's been enough games in those categories released to make it a decent competition.
Well, strategy and simulation is not that big a genre anymore. Like there will always be action and adventure games. So, did you want to do a piece of news or two, or?
Yeah, I've got a piece of news here.
Yeah.
Ooh, you give me so much choice as well. Let's see. Let's talk about a few games that have sold lots of copies and are happy. Bravely Default. Remember that game?
Yes. That's one of my pieces of news, actually.
What, the...
Yeah, remember that piece of artwork I showed you?
Hmm.
Where it's like there's an anime chick and she seems to be like one knee forward and one hip that's somehow half a foot away from where her waist is.
Yep.
Yeah, that's some of the official artwork from the website.
Oh, right. That was Bravely Default, was it?
Yeah.
Well, it sold over 1 million copies.
I was like, that's Bravely Default. I thought you were doing Bravely Default 2.
No, Bravely Default.
Oh, in that case, we can lead on from each other.
Cool. Overnight, the official Bravely Default Twitter account announced that the JRPG sold over 1 million copies based off a report from Genki Online. Square Enix reached sales of the milestone for the 3DS exclusive by selling 400,000 units in Japan and 600,000 in the West.
Ooh.
Yay for the West.
Aye.
As the game sold over 200,000 copies during its first 3 weeks of availability in North America. And other Square Enix title... Oh, apparently Square Enix reportedly refocusing on JRPGs after the success
Yeah,
of this title.
we did a piece on that as well.
Hmm.
We were like, yay.
And they were busy... Oh, okay, and this probably leads on to the news you've got then. So, far away.
Square Enix have now officially launched the Japanese website for Bravely Second. It has a trailer on the front page showing off early footage of the game, as well as a lot of the concept artwork that the first game was very much lauded for. We also have more information on the game's universe, as well as the characters. Agnes is returning as one of the main characters. There's not actually much else there. They just, launched the website to go, yep, it's a thing, look how much work has been done on it. Expect a countdown timer for release at some point in the next year or two. Probably in the next year.
Probably the next year, yeah. Can't be that far away.
It can't be.
Nowhere near as far away as Kingdom Hearts 3. Sob.
Oh no, but Haley Joel Osment has been officially recast, so it's definitely Sora.
Oh, he's been recast. Awesome.
Yeah.
For a moment then, I thought
He's just announced that he has actually been cast for Kingdom Hearts 3.
Fuck yeah. When you said recast for a moment, I thought you meant someone else's cast.
No, no.
And I was like, wait, what? Oh, wait, no, he's been cast again. Okay, cool.
Whoa. This isn't like a Hideo Kojima thing.
Yeah, you know that one voice actor you've been used to forever? Yeah, he's changing.
Oh, by the way, we didn't tell him.
Because, dicks.
What else? Yeah, at Comic-Con. Scrolling back up. The trailer for Tekken 7 was revealed.
I've seen that.
Also giving, through a translator, some more details. Katsuhiro Harada. Apparently, he said that Tekken 7's plot will have a very detailed background and will serve as the conclusion of the Mishima clan saga. So, they will finally have the answers as to why Heihachi is trying to kill his grandson, and why Heihachi threw Kazuya off a cliff, who Devil Jin is, and all the other Tekken mysteries.
I hope not all of them. Because, the Armor King...
Don't know, he said, we're
King.
still formulating the basic gameplay systems, and will polish them.
Good.
We don't have any details to share about the mechanics, but it will feature one-on-one battles and not team battles.
Yep, because that's what the Tekken Tag Team Tournament is for.
They've also grabbed a whole bunch of guest artists to do character designs.
Oh, cool.
That includes Mari Shimazaki from Bayonetta, Yosuke Kozaki from Fire Emblem Awakening and No More Heroes, Ninin of Duel Masters, Cardfight and Vanguard fame, and he also confirmed that Lars from Bloodline Rebellion will return as redesigned by Ninin.
Oh dear. I wasn't too upset with Lars. Lars was quite cool.
And of course, we also got told that director Shinji Aramaki will be working on the pre-rendered opening cinematic. He also worked on the Appleseed series, Space Pirate Captain Harlock, Halo Legends, and Tekken Blood Vengeance, which does not contain any blood and not really any vengeance.
No, there wasn't much vengeance.
There wasn't much of anything, really.
Although it did get screened at Harbour Lights, which was quite awesome.
It did.
And I missed my chance to go and see it. I was mightily pissed off. And then when I got the Tekken box set thing, which had Tekken Tag 1, Bloodline Vengeance, and the demo for Tekken Tag 2, I was quite happy.
The thing is that we have Harada that they go, yes, I've worked out all these story details. We're like, you haven't worked,
You mean you hadn't worked them out before?
He
What are you playing
he
at, man?
wings it with everyone.
Which does wonder, if there's going to be a Tekken 8, who's going to be the new focal characters?
Don't know.
Are they going to shift focus to someone else in the games, or are they going to introduce new characters to be the focal point? And if they introduce new characters, will people take to them?
Well, it's like just through Tekken 5 alone, through the various cutscenes, he contradicts the story massively.
Well, most of them are what-if scenarios. They're not actually canon, so they can get away with that. I mean, Mortal Kombat's been doing that for decades. So there's the one true canon storyline.
Yeah, but there's sort of like massively conflicting things where they didn't even have to be. It's like Jinpachi is Satan, and that's why Kazuya's a demon. Actually, Jin is a demon because the devil struck a deal with Kazuya. And actually, no, it's all just because of vengeful ghosts.
and stuff.
And then Tekken 6, following on from all these, yeah, forget about that whole devil shit. Jin declares war on the world. Because reasons.
Yeah, really good reasons, honest.
Watch Heihachi catch a bullet with his mouth, because that's cool, right?
In all fairness, Heihachi's cool. That's why he appeared in Soul Calibur. Heihachi.
To be fair, the most coherent one, to me, is still Tekken 4.
I can't stand Tekken 4.
You got to admit, it had some of the best music of the series.
No!
No?
And the fighting engine was abysmal. Tekken 3. Tekken 3 is definitely the best. And Tekken Tag Tournament 1. Because that used the Tekken 3 fighting engine, and therefore was good. And it brought Bayek back, which made
I'm
it
saying
better.
the mechanics out of the but the storyline wise, Tekken 4, actually everything did kind of weave together pretty well.
Yeah, I didn't like Tekken 4 enough to actually get into it that deeply, so...
No.
So yeah, they can fuck off. One thing I'm happy about Tekken Tag Tournament 2, as I said in the previous show, is that you can basically have a radio mode where you can use music from the previous games or import your own MP3s. So when I get my hard drive back working again that has all my Tekken soundtracks on there, I'll be copying those to the PS3 and going, oh look Tekken, there's all the old soundtracks. Get busy, get playing. Because Tekken 3 had some of the best music. Sorry for this, I don't care what you say.
It's okay.
Tekken 3 was the winner for me.
I'm more than willing to accept that subjective opinions may happen. It may in fact be subjective.
Holy shit.
I know, right? What the fuck am I even doing on the internet?
Yeah, it's like, you shouldn't be here, dude. I'll restore the balance. No, you're wrong. Completely and utterly. And you're gay. And fake. I think that's the balance restored.
yeah, pretty much. That is to the balance being restored.
Oh, and you must be from America or something, because every YouTube comment eventually turns into an argument between America and the rest of the world. Good news.
Wait, we've forgotten the other random commenter. Benghazi!
What music was that? No, it was Sandstorm. By Road, of course. Duh.
Don't you mean...
That is Sandstorm.
Yes, it is, but I was doing it durs.
Derp, derp, derp.
Derpy derp.
Derp, derp, derp. But yes, good news for Zelda fans. The series Monster Hunter is going to receive Link's costume and weapons for Monster Hunter 4.
Does that mean the new Fantasy Star will be getting that as well? Because
Maybe.
that's basically Monster Hunter.
Capcom revealed the addition to the 3DS Monster Hunting series on its blog. The trailer for the reveal shows in-game characters in full Hyrulean regalia, including a Master Sword, Highland Shield, and a bow. But wait, there's more. He plays an instrument that doesn't look anything like the ocarina from Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time, but we all know that's what it's supposed to be. Shoots a gun and throws the shield Captain America style. The Link, like Monster Hunter, also throws a boomerang, which makes a very Hero of Time-like sounds when performing actions such as attacking and jumping. Oddly, the voice effects resemble the classic Kid Link more than the mature Link, which the character bears the most obvious physical resemblance to. Well, Monster Hunter 4 on the 3DS is coming out the first quarter of 2015, so it should be a good place for the fans of Legend of Zelda series to scratch that Link itch. With Hyrule Warriors releasing in September, and Wii U getting its own Zelda series coming in the 2015 at some point release window. So yes, if you like Monster Hunter, now you can get your Linkgasm over that as well.
Alright, there are rumours that a shop has accidentally put up a online listing for Majora's Mask 3DS. Fueling, basically a online shop. I think it was Best Buy.
Yeah.
put up a listing for Majora's Mask 3DS,
Okay.
and it was very quickly taken down, and suddenly the whole internet is aflame with speculation
Aha.
as to
Is-
whether or not they're just going to finally bring out the other Zelda that they've been remaking endlessly.
Oh, I've got more Tekken news. I forgot you gave me more Tekken news.
Yes, I did.
More Tekken news. Tekken Revolution hits 3.5 million downloads on PS3.
Yeah.
Yep, the free-to-play game recently hit the 1 million milestone, but now one of the oldest, even more impressive numbers to share. Having launched in June 2013, Tekken Revolution now sits at over 3.5 downloads globally.
Bloody hell.
Ooh.
Hmm?
And there's a celebration going on.
Is there?
3 times XP for characters less than level 60.
Ooh, are you less than level 60, sir?
I am. I'm like level 58 or something, so...
Ooh, excuse me.
I am playing me some Tekken tonight. And it's a Mukujin event as well. Oh. Sorry for the celebration wraps up on July 29th. Cock! So they're pretty much tonight and tomorrow then. Balls! Wish I'd learned about this earlier. Oh well, never mind. At least I can score me some good gear. Any more news?
Yes, I'm just grabbing a bit more because I've realised we need to
Okay. Well, just before you crack on with your news then.
Ooh.
I've just been browsing IGN as well. They've done a review of Naughty Dog's The Last of Us Remastered. Which is the new shiny remake of The Last of Us for the PS4. And they are gushing over it. They've given it 10 out of 10. And they've summarised it by saying, whether you've already experienced it on PS3 or you have no idea what you're missing, The Last of Us Remastered is worth your time and attention. PlayStation 3's best game just became PlayStation 4's best game too. They love it. They like the fact the frame rate's been doubled from 30 to 60 frames a second, but it's now in 1080p as opposed to 720. So you can actually now do the fighty sections, reasonably, without having to get pissed off with it being 30 frames a second. They've remapped the gun trigger to the actual trigger buttons, due to the PS3's trigger buttons being a bit on the useless side. The controller's speaker can be used to play audio diaries and sound effects, like the click on and off of your flashlight, although that's optional and you can turn it off. And a lot of the DLC that you had to buy separately for the PS3 version is bundled into the PS4 version. So you don't have to worry about all that bullshit again, which is quite cool. And yeah, they love it. So that's apparently out now. Last of Us Remastered. So if you've got a PS4 and you don't already have this game, go and get it. Apparently you're missing out on something awesome.
And remember, once you're done letting a friend play The Last of Us,
Yes.
just hide behind his sofa with a childproof medicine bottle. And then open it. Well, attempt to open it.
Click, 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 click. Fucking bottles. Even as an adult, those are fucking hard.
Oh no, it's a case of the noise that clickers in The Last of Us make is eerily similar.
Really?
Yes.
Ooh, okay.
Trust me, for am I not the master of emotional torture?
You are certainly high ranking. I will grant you
Indeed.
that.
The cover, the box art and release dates have been given to us for the new Sonic Boom games.
Oh dear.
Plural.
Really plural.
It
it
turns out that
ports?
rather than have one game coming out on both of the Nintendo consoles, the 3DS and the Wii U will both be getting different games.
Ah, so it's got twice the chance to suck.
Indeed. Sonic Boom Shattered Crystal is the 3DS offering.
Mm-hmm.
And Sonic Boom Rise of Lyric is your Wii U offering,
I see.
in which the cover art has Knuckles appearing to do a Akuma Hadoken, and Sonic throwing a whip made of lightning towards the viewer.
Lovely.
No, I'm not kidding. I'll show you. Share. So I have so many links open that this thing is actually struggling now.
Yeah. So when's it due to be out?
I will let you know as soon as I've posted this to you. There you go.
Very cool.
They are due out on Shattered Crystal for the 3DS is due out on November 11th. And Rise of Lyric for the Wii U is due out on November 18th.
Aha.
I like that. And there are all sorts of people arguing in the comments going, oh, they poochied Sonic. I said, I can either make two arguments here. I could go with, no, they poochied Mario way back when it first began. Or, no, they poochied Sonic when they gave him the hip, radical new look for Sonic Adventure.
I fucking hated that look. It's like, hey, let's give him legs that are 3 times his body. Because, yeah, legs.
I'm not aware that poochie has become a verb now.
Yeah, that's a worry. But I must say, I'm okay with the Sonic Boom series existing with Sonic's new look and everything, because it's its own kind of off-canon adventure.
Although they've made Robotnik pudgier again. I didn't like that.
I don't know, I quite like him being pudgy. And as long as he's comical pudgy as well. He doesn't work when he's trying to be serious, because it just doesn't suit the character. But yeah, Xbox One soon to be available in China. Which is, Microsoft has struck a deal with a Chinese state-owned telecommunications company which will allow the Xbox One to be sold in the mainland of China.
Oh yeah, we I think we mentioned the deal for the 360 as well, being allowed to be sold at the Shanghai market.
Console will be available in September, and to China Telecom's 30 million customers, this is the first time a games console will be available inside the country since 2000, which is when the government implemented a ban on said items. This is all the light of China lifting the ban on consoles last year. Apparently Sony have announced that they have plans to bring the PS4 to the country, but no dates have yet been set. No prices have been announced for the system yet, but hopefully it can give Microsoft the surge in sales they've been looking for, since the PlayStation 4 has been outselling the system in most markets, including North America. Allegedly. And my final bit of news that I have here, that was from you. Capcom aiming to reduce development cycles for major franchises.
Yay.
Indeed. Their brief says, ideally, we want to use a development period of 1.5 years as a rule for each team. Our goal is to make the development cycle even shorter. We understand there are some risks, partly because, deep down, this is our first free... what the hell? Oh, they're releasing a free-to-play game. I haven't said what yet, though. And because deep down, it's our first free-to-play game for a next-generation console. But we believe that risk-taking to some extent is required, in part because this title is the starting point for our growth in content sales for next-generation consoles. Furthermore, a business model in which we do not simply sell games has the advantage of giving us access to feedback from users. We're able to use that information to solve issues, so we plan to continue to refine and update deep
Look what
down.
the other major fighting game is doing. We must do it now.
Yeah.
And we were talking about this earlier as well. Have Capcom just gone backwards?
Yeah, basically.
Back in the 90s, you'd get like 2 Street Fighters a year that you'd pay full price for, because they were just making minor revisions, and there's no process to patch it back then. And then we can now patch things. Yay, the game will last for longer.
Hurrah!
And now you're going to get a new thing every year, because when they say major franchises, pretty much all they have now is Street Fighter.
I think there was over 40 versions of Street Fighter 2 in the end, including
That
home
doesn't
ports.
surprise me at all.
Terrifying. And that was just a Street Fighter 2. That wasn't including all the Super Street Fighter 2s or anything like that.
And pretty much they were all at full retail price, weren't they?
Most of them, admittedly, were arcade ports. So,
Yeah.
But yeah, so many different versions of the bloody game. It's like, fuck's sake. And that doesn't even include the bootleg ROMs that they had in the arcades, which was great. We even had some of the bootleg ones at Sega Park when Sega Park was still a thing.
You did?
Yeah, we had some of the Rainbow ROMs. They were brilliant. It's like Chun-Li is doing her lightning kick and suddenly a fireball appears. And they home. So you could be trying to jump over it and it will track up the screen and get you. And it's like, brilliant.
So, have you seen the prices that the Oculus Rift Dev Kit 2 have been reaching on eBay?
Nope.
No? Let's have a look here. Sorry. Baron, this is something that's going to cost you £350 brand new.
Not bad.
But if you're desperate enough to get one tomorrow instead of like in a month or so, you might want to fetch over $1,500 for one.
Ooh.
In fact, $1,000 is actually an average price at the moment. Seriously?
Are you that desperate for Oculus Rift, guys? I mean, I paid a few quid and I'm getting Google Cardboard not too soon. In fact, yeah, it's nearly August now. I'm expecting it kind of late August time, so... Hell yeah!
Bear in mind that if anybody's actually found to be a reseller, Oculus Rift will stop shipping them units altogether.
Which is hilarious.
Which is why they've stopped shipping to China.
Yeah, because so many people were reselling there. I thought that was a bit of hilarious news. It's like, yeah, it's for the community, it's for the developers, not for peasants.
Yeah.
Stop selling it to peasants. But I'm a peasant. I want to play with Oculus. I want to be vomiting very, very quickly.
And in a weird story, Adrian Curry, the I think it's Britain's Got Talent, Britain's America's Next Top Model or something.
I don't know, but his name rings a bell.
Her.
Her?
I gotta quickly, Adrienne.
Oh, Adrienne. Okay, not the person I'm thinking of then. I'm thinking of the guy.
Adrienne, sorry.
Adrienne.
Yeah, she's a model.
Okay, definitely not the person I'm thinking of. Okay, what's she done then?
She actually, surprisingly, was at Comic-Con for some reason.
Look at me, I'm famous!
At which point, she saw somebody being sexually assaulted and stepped in.
Oh, good for her.
Yeah.
Right, stepped in to stop it, yes?
Yes.
Good.
Oh, yeah, she's from America's Next Top Model. That was it.
Sometimes you have to do these checks. So, not only is she a model, she's also a semi-hero. Go figure.
Well, apparently, she was with
her abusive boyfriend.
with Alicia Marie.
Another name I have no idea. Pop culture.
A friend of hers had basically gone to San Diego Comic-Con dressed as Tigra.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Do you want to just read the status thing?
Go on
then. From Alicia Marie. Yesterday, myself, dressed as Tigra, was with the above-mentioned friends, and we were all in the super-crowded San Diego Comic-Con International Gas Lamp area, taking photos with peeps and fans. Suddenly, some asshole came up behind me and tried to stick his hands in my bottoms, and then he tried to yank my tail and pants down.
Whoa.
Yeah. Bear in mind that if you're wearing a Tigra outfit, you will most likely just be wearing bikini bottoms and a top and body paint.
Yeah.
So that's pretty damn fucking serious as far as sexual assault goes in a public area at a comic convention.
It's like there's pantsing and then there's that.
Yeah, there's pantsing, but also pressing your hand in first.
Yeah. That's not cool, kids.
So
you know.
The status there goes, I just freaked out, screamed, trying to keep my bottoms up, but Adrienne Curry literally took off after dude with her Catwoman whip and chased him down, beat his ass. She punched him across the face with the butt of her whip.
I hope there are photos, because the mental images I've got are fantastic. And I want to see
I don't know
if
if there are any
reality
photos
does
of
them
the
any
event.
justice.
Found Curry, when she reshared the thing, added, I did in fact beat the shit out of his face with the butt of my whip, which was a real bullwhip.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I've not got any more gaming news, but I do have a little bit of Doctor Who news. Because Peter Capaldi has been talking about what to expect in the forthcoming series.
Oh,
For
actually,
those of you who haven't
so this
downloaded
came
the
with
leaked episode.
a recent survey across quite a few conventions from all stripes at the moment.
Oh, really?
13% of people attending comic book, anime, etc. conventions will report having unwanted comments of a sexual nature made to them. And 8% of people of all genders report that they have been groped, assaulted, or raped at a convention.
Blimey. Stay away from conventions, kid.
Well, bear in mind that if you just take that as San Diego Comic Con with these percentages,
that's a lot of people.
that would be 17,000 people having unwanted comments made about them, and 10,000 people suffering grope, harassment, rape.
That's a lot of people.
A lot of people.
That's not cool, kids. That's not cool.
Thankfully, you know, a lot of these conventions are actually starting to put in more anti-harassment policies, as well as, understanding security.
Which is a good thing.
Which is good, because we had a few cases at Dragon Con, I think it was last year, where somebody actually reported a sexual harassment thing, and the guard just said, "You're dressed as a slut, fuck off."
Yeah, that got a lot of
Was it Dragon Con?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
I wonder what happened to Burning Man. I've not heard about that for ages.
No, I have no idea.
No, me neither. But yes, Doctor Who.
Oh yeah, the Peter Capaldi comments.
Yeah. He's stating that his companion won't be flirting with Clara.
At all.
Best series ever.
And there will be no Clara Papa moments between him and her either.
I hope.
As they do the other surrogate relationship thing
Yeah.
that could go on.
There'll be no flirting because Clara is nearly 30 years his junior. But he does promise that he'll be blowing a lot of shit up.
Because Michael Bay wills it.
Yeah.
I finally dislodged that piece of something that was irritating me.
Haha. Peter Capaldi said to the Sunday Times magazine, "There'll be no flirting, that's for sure. That's not what this doctor's concerned with. It's a fun relationship, but no, I did call and say I want no Papa Nicole moments." I think there was a bit of tension with that at first, but I was absolutely adamant. He also talks about his outfit on the show, explaining why it differs to previous Matt Smith's wardrobe. He says, "I think it's quite a hard look. I always wanted him to be in black. I always just saw the Doctor in dark colours, not tweed. Matt's a really cool young guy. He can wear anything. But I wanted to strip it back and be very stark."
I'm just getting loads of really cheesy, one line in my head. It's like, the only thing this doctor flirts with is danger. I haven't got time for love. I'm too busy handing out prescriptions for kicking your ass. But I won't do anymore.
And also, don't expect a repeat of what's gone before. Probably reveals
But it's Moffat.
It's very important, but it's going to be a bit different from what we've seen over recent years. A bit
Who
more
did
gravity.
they say they're hoping to get in to direct an episode? Peter Jackson.
Yes, Peter Jackson.
Yes.
Peter Jackson is well up for it as well. As soon as he's finished playing with hobbits.
Will this directorial role involve him destroying some kind of circular object in some way, like most of his other recent projects?
Maybe.
Remember, he's still listed as the executive producer for the Halo movie, which is in development hell.
And is that the destruction of a ring-like object?
It is!
Ah. Well, who'd have thunk it?
With sticky nads and hogs.
Okay, you sure you're talking about Halo and not a gay prison?
A little column A.
And a little column. Oh, the soap was dropped. Oh, look, feminists. A rape joke. Have fun with that one. So, yeah, I'm looking forward to Doctor Who. It's coming back on our screens on August the 23rd. And will be in the cinemas for those who want to watch it there. And after watching the 50th anniversary episode in the cinemas, yeah, I want to watch it there, thanks. Because that was fucking amazing in the cinema. And then I watched it on iPlayer, and it was still good, but nowhere near as good. Holy shit, it was good in the cinema. And so, yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I'm definitely trying to get tickets as soon as I can, if it comes out in the Odeon down here, because holy shit, worth it.
The storyline wasn't that great, but...
No, but who cares? It was fucking awesome in the cinema. And actually, the character of Rose Tyler being acted almost sensibly by Billy Piper going, "Look, I can actually act occasionally. Not often, but occasionally." Any more news from the fetus?
Yeah, sorry, I'm still tired and my brain's catching up to everything. Ubisoft have shared new details on how the crew is going to be approaching solo and co-op as separate modes.
Okay.
Essentially, it's a crew. It's another banky, heisty, gamey thing, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Except with cars.
And a car door that closes. Can't forget that.
Oh my god. The senior game designer at Ubisoft Reflections has shared that you won't be able to level up your crew whilst you're playing by yourself.
Oddly enough, that makes sense.
Oh yeah, multiplayer is it's kind of weird. Multiplayer is actually a co-op primary focus game. So players will still find super missions to focus on while playing on their own, or perhaps even some narrative ones.
Mm-hmm.
But he said, we want the game's real appeal to come from playing with others. Apparently, what he's trying to do is he's saying, fucking hell.
You can hear that, huh?
Oh, his actual answer is, the honest answer right now in that example would be no, because your progress is still your progress. You might want to do more narrative focused missions yourself, and then later, if we can joined up with you and saw you did a mission by yourself, that would defeat the co-op aspects of the game. Then why bother even offering the co-op things apart from like a practicey mode thing? Weird.
Very.
Yeah. We want people to be playing missions a lot for the car parts that you'll earn. So hopefully you won't be grinding. It's actually something that's really cool to play in co-op together.
I can see how they could want to push that.
Yeah, but
It's
the
not-
locking, character advancement to just
Yeah.
the online mode doesn't make much sense. If it's the
For-
exact same, I mean,
For crew advancement, that makes sense because you're leveling up the crew. But for character development, I'm not sure. Unless I missed.
your crew is basically your character thing.
Because I,
but,
I always imagine the crew to be one of those games where, a bit like Borderlands Online, except you try and find people who you play with regularly.
Yeah, except you can still enjoy the game and level up offline
Oh, good.
in Borderlands.
Oh, in Borderlands, yeah.
Yeah, and in Payday 2, yeah, there's a lot of focus on you playing online. In fact, you're kind of slightly crippled if you're trying to take on anything above an easy mission offline because the bots can't carry bags.
Really?
Really.
Oh, crap.
Really.
That's a kind of a major flaw there.
Yeah, it is a bit.
Oh, well.
And there are some types of missions where they're, for example, if you're trying to keep hostages down in a situation, as long as everything's going fine, your bots will most likely chill outside. It's only when the police come along and there's action to be had that the bots will actually actively join in. At which point you probably will be glad because they are epic meat shields. I tell you that. They have health regen that's Wolverine levels.
Well, that's a good thing, yeah?
Yeah. But if you play it offline, you still get the points you need to level up, which you can then bring onto your online experience with other people.
Which is also good, yeah?
Because if it's the exact same gameplay, and you're not actually getting an unfair advantage by playing offline,
Then why the hell not?
yeah, it wouldn't be that hard to implement it, really. It'd just be, yeah, this is the same system. Here's your experience, level up, click, UI. It actually seems like slightly more work for you to go, disable this, this, and this. Do not bring this up. This is not counted towards anything. Okay, and now we switch modes to free online.
I don't know.
I really don't see a reason.
I'm probably not going to be playing much of it anyway, so I don't really care. Any more?
I've got a couple of minor bits that we can do.
Go on then.
Nvidia have revealed their new Shield tablet.
Yay!
This now makes Shield a brand of theirs rather than just a single item. The new Nvidia Shield, the Project Shield thing, was recently linked, which led Nvidia with no choice but to confirm it. It's essentially a 8-inch tablet with the new K1 and Nvidia Tegra K1 GPU, a 2.2 gigahertz ARM Cortex A15, and 2 gigabytes of RAM.
So it should play for a few things.
Yeah.
Or at least that's the plan.
It's basically they want this to make like a gaming thing. It's going to be streaming your PC games because Nvidia architecture.
Makes kind of sense. Nice.
Well, all of the Kepler things now have the feature where you can encode and stream directly from device to device. And if you've got the original Shield, you can use that to play pretty much any game that accepts controller input from your PC,
Yeah.
given a good enough internet wireless connection.
Yep.
Yeah, it will be shipping with Trine 2, the complete story,
Cool.
already ported and ready to play.
Nice.
This means that you'll also get much smoother gameplay on Half-Life 2 and Portal 1 and 2 that have already been ported over for the other Nvidia Shield. Basically, anything on the Source engine can now run on Android.
Oh, useful.
Yeah, that should be fun. It's actually for pre-order already in the UK. Where have we got? A 16 gigabyte non 4G LTE support model will cost you £230,
Yeah.
and a higher end model can cost you up to £300.
Yikes.
This doesn't include the wireless controller that you're going to have to use with it, because
Fucking
unlike
hell.
the previous Shield model, it's not built in. It literally is a large form tablet with massive front facing speakers. So that's going to cost you £49 for the controller, which is about standard now actually,
Yeah.
and £24 for their specific cover for it. So whilst everything is available for pre-order and it will be released on the 14th of August, they haven't said anything about a 32 gigabyte model with LTE. So you're restricted to wireless only if you actually want more space. I'm trying to see what they got here. They've got a mini HDMI input, a micro USB 2.0, micro SD storage slot, and 3.5mm stereo headphone jack with microphone support.
Ooh. So you can wear your gaming headset with it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Gaming features. No, pretty much Shield wireless controller compatible, NVIDIA Game Stream, NVIDIA Shadow Play. Wait, it supports Shadow Play as well?
This is getting better.
So you can now actually just record your gaming on your Android.
As you do.
Grid Cloud Gaming Beta, Console Mode, and Gamepad Mapper.
Nice.
The cameras are actually a bit better than the average ones, with the front camera being a 5 megapixel HDR, and the back being a 5 megapixel autofocus HDR. And a 19.75 watt-hour battery.
How many hours?
19.75 watt-hours.
So what does that convert to in actual hours in
I
NVIDIA?
can't remember.
Some.
Yeah.
It's going to have some battery life.
Oh, and it does come bundled with software. Google
Nice.
Play, the NVIDIA Shield app, which is actually fairly useful because that actually gives you access to the ported games.
That's right.
Trine 2, Complete Story, Multi-Language Handwriting Recognition, NVIDIA Dabbler, Just Write, Evernote, Adobe Reader, and Camera Awesome. Yeah, that's about it there for that. The only other news is... Why are you reloading the page already? Oh, god damn it. Essentially, Amazon have finally said, yes, we are totally going to show Android some love and give you the Prime Instant Video application.
Yeah.
Yeah. But basically, you've been limited to everything but Android so far for Prime Instant Video,
Okay.
which is in itself about a £5 subscription without having to buy Amazon Prime. Essentially, every single iOS device, the Fire smartphones that have just come out, the Kindle Fire, set-top boxes, game consoles, Blu-ray players, and quite a few smart TVs have already had Prime Video, but nothing Android at
see.
all. And this was at the Amazon Christmas show in London a couple of weeks ago. And they said the release is imminent, so expect it in like 6 months. That's what imminent means in the industry, right?
Yep.
At the same time, they confirmed that Amazon has a team that are specifically dedicated to preparing and releasing 4K content this year and beyond.
Ooh.
Apparently Amazon Studios have announced that they plan to shoot all of their original series in 4K resolution from here on out.
That's cool.
Yeah. That's all I've got for now. I'm sorry. I thought there would be more of us.
No, that's absolutely fine. It's brought us
Yeah.
well past the gaming news cutoff point anyway, so...
Oh wait,
good.
I can do quick bits. Netflix are testing a private mode so you can hide what you watch.
Okay.
I'm scrolling. It's one of those sites that loads up like one long page, but it's all different URLs on all the articles.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
Where's that thing I was going to scroll down to? Come on. Yeah, these are all like streaming movie things that I've got at the moment. Netflix Canada have actually got a deal for exclusive first-run streaming rights on new Disney movies.
On new Disney movies?
Yeah, and Canada.
In Canada?
Yeah.
Blame Canada.
Blame Canada with their beady little eyes and their flappy little mouths.
Big little
Oh
eyes.
yeah.
Little
You remember the video streaming company Aereo?
No. Is there a reason for that?
Basically, they've had a battle. They're a streaming video startup company, and they've been embroiled in a legal battle for quite a while between national broadcast networks. Essentially, they want to be classified as a traditional cable system, and therefore be allowed to pay the slightly reduced licensing fees associated with that business model in America.
Okay.
Everyone's sat there going, "You're an online startup, you should have to pay fuck tons in royalties."
Yeah, because royalties.
Yeah. They filed papers in court very recently that state that we should be allowed to resume operations assuming we get the proper licensing as a cable operator. So I'm trying to read through and get this bit. It's basically they've been threatened with being shut down, so this is them trying to gain legitimacy and not have to fold. Yeah, I'm trying to. Apparently, part of this is also the reason why people are freaking out about them. The FTC is that they're offering a cloud-based DVR service at the same time as all this other stuff. My brain's not reading it well right now.
That's okay. We can move on to the next segment if you like.
Yes, please.
Consider it done.
Now it's time for the latest gossip from the Silicon Grid. This is the gaming news.
Why did it play that jingle?
Oh god, are we in a time loop?
Obviously. Let's
I
try
don't
again,
want to be in the
shall we?
time loop.
It's that
like
time where the
loops.
cast of TigerTails Radio reviews stuff badly. This is done and dusted.
There we go. That was
I
the jingle.
upheld my tradition of talking over it.
Yep. I noticed that you were silent over the wrong jingle, but then you talked over the right one. In true
I is a
traditional
sleepy
form.
feelish.
Well, has Sleepy Feelish done, seen, played, touched, eaten, burglarized anything interesting this week?
Tell you what, we start with you. I'll bring something up that I can talk about.
Okay, fair enough. Well, this week I have been doing a new thing thanks to both Kai and the Humble Bundle, and in kind of retrospect from that, Mr. Nerd Cubed. I've been enjoying the delights of Euro Truck Simulator 2 on the PC. It is a Steam game. Kai bought the Humble Bundle, which came with a copy of Euro Truck Simulator, and said, well, since I don't need it anymore, do you fancy it? Because I've already got the game. And I was like, okay, I'll give it a shot. Why not? It looks like fun. So I started playing. We got the steering wheel, because Hedgie had the PS3 steering wheel, which also works on the PC. So we got that all set up and plugged in. And then we started driving trucks on a simulator. Which is...
That simulates the driving of trucks.
Indeed. And it is entirely more entertaining than it has any business being. It's not right. This is not as enjoyable as Train Simulator. At least with Train Simulator, you had lots of shit to do and it kept you entertained and busy. Truck Simulator is literally you drive a truck. But you have to obey the laws of the road, you try not to speed, don't crash into anything, and get your cargo to delivery on time without being hideously late so you can actually get paid. And you've got to look after money, look after finances and things. And once you get your own truck, you can then start your own trucking company and start employing NPC characters to go around doing trucking jobs for you. It was actually really entertaining. It has no business being this much fun. The trucking physics, I don't know how actual trucks handle, but on the steering wheel, the game trucks handled really quite what I would consider to be realistically. As in, even with power-assisted steering, they were bags of shit to drive, but not undrivable. And especially when you only had the trailer, you only had your van and not the trailer attached. They were actually quite nimble and light, and you could get away with murder diving between cars on the road to stop hitting them. And it's actually been really, really good fun. trekking across the country to pick up a load, only to find out the job's gone by the time you get there. Can be a pain in the ass. But there's always other jobs in the local area for you to go and quickly nip to and grab, so you can get some decent money going from there. I've noticed that where you end up being generally ends up to be kind of where you really need to pick up the next job from. And you must do all the things like remembering to sleep and rest, refueling, paying for repairs, and
Take an extra handful of caffeine pills.
Yep, pretty much. It's all...
Grope a hitchhiker.
Oh no, you pick up a prostitute and murder them. That's what you do. Well, according to Top Gear anyway, so... But that mode hasn't been simulated yet. Maybe it's coming for a forthcoming update, I don't know. But the community has clubbed together and made...
Euro Truck Simulator, the Hobo Shank DLC.
Well, they've made an unofficial online mod which took Euro Truck Simulator's awesomeness and increased it. Because it's virtually identical to the single-player game, except all the cars on the road are missing, and instead what you meet are other players along the route. So you're driving along and suddenly there's a truck. And you can sound your horn and wave at them because...
There's something that must be played at this point.
Why do I worry? What was that?
Just skip through a bit.
What the hell are you playing?
It's the Convoy song.
Okay.
You made the mistake of mentioning multiplayer in a truck simulator.
Yeah.
Convoy had to be played.
Yeah, you can convoy it. It's quite fun. You might want to send me a link to that. I can put it on my truck's radio. Because it takes...
Just search for the Convoy song.
Okay. Because you can actually put MP3s on your machine and have your truck simulator use them as the in-truck radio. You could also stream actual radio stations in this game. I was like, okay, that's okay, I'm digging this. There's a whole lot of attention to detail. And it surprised me a lot. Graphically, the game isn't too shabby either. It's not perfect, obviously, being a simulator, but it's definitely not along the lines of like Farm Simulator or Goat Simulator or anything like that. These graphics are actually competent and stand up. And yeah, it remembers that the Brits drive on the left and most of Europe drives on the right. There's even Channel Tunnel involvement, so you can quickly nip on the train at Dover and get off at Calais, and then continue trucking around Europe. The place is huge as well. The roads aren't accurately modelled, and Europe is somewhat shrunk down, so a mile in game is probably only about 1/10 of a mile real time, and thus the timing is adjusted to suit. So you can be driving for 3 hours in game and really be only driving for about 15-20 minutes. Which is quite nice, but it does bring that element of kind of in-game realism to it, where you're watching the clock going, I'm going to be late, 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 bombing it down the highway as fast as you possibly can get away with your truck limited to 55, going, oh shit. It is really, really entertaining. I like this game a lot. I've been putting way too many hours into it recently than I really should have done. And with the steering wheel, with the pedals, it really does have that extra element to it as well.
They're actually here right now. He's put up the TV in front of the table in front of the TV.
Yep, so we can just swing the table around and set everything up in a heartbeat.
I think he's actually set it up so he can put his feet up and use the pedals.
No, they're just on they're out of the way.
But now the idea's in your head.
Oh God, no, because they would just slide around. We have to use the leg of the table to stop the pedals from escaping.
Blue tack.
Blue tack would solve the problem. It might make problems worse.
It solves everything.
No, duct tape and WD-40 solves everything. If it moves, then it shouldn't.
Duct tape.
If it doesn't, and it should, WD-40. Everything is solved.
Oh,
but
we are not receiving data from your encoder.
Oh, give it a minute.
Yeah. Haha, YouTube, you cannot see me.
For now.
For now. I'm just going to watch my head waggle back and forth on the other window.
Okay. The audio feed seems to be working okay, so it must just be a YouTube problem. Yeah, YouTube's having problems again. Well, there's a surprise. He lied. Twitch doesn't have these problems. Actually,
yeah, but if you actually want a consistent stream, then you've really got to be paying for Twitch.
Yeah, that's true. I've got nothing against Twitch's streams. They are quite nice. But yeah, I've been
Hey,
really.
we heard that you want to have people have options as to the bitrate that they're streaming you from.
If you get popular enough, you don't have to pay for that. But you've got to be popular, of which we
Yeah.
are not.
Otherwise, they
alas.
just seem to give you an arbitrary amount.
Normally as close to source as possible, which is quite good because we always stream in 720, so that works out quite well for us. But yes, I've really enjoyed Truck Simulator to the point where I then bought the Humble Bundle and to get the extra paint pack and stuff, and then passed on my copy of Truck Simulator to Eunice Jet, who wanted a copy.
Okay, I never sent you a link to Loot Crate, did I?
I know about Loot Crate. I generally don't go for Loot Crate because it's like, hey, who's all that geeky shit? 99% of it you won't give a shit about. But still pay us a fortune every month for the privilege.
But you still really want it anyway.
Not really. I do. I watch Nerd Cube's reviews of the Loot Crates because they're hilarious.
So I look at some of the stuff in the previous Loot Kits and I go, I actually like a lot of the stuff in that. It would just sit in my room and collect dust,
Oh, so much dust.
but I would look at it longingly.
My sunburn hurts. It doesn't hurt, but like if I really rub it hard, I can. Bleh. Stupid thing. Apparently
You
YouTube's
should
fine.
give it a break between rubbing, otherwise you'll start to chafe.
Haha. I've actually been plastering
Well.
so much after sun on my arms. It's unbelievable. I've been literally sweating after sun. And I'm just waiting for it to peel now so I can be a nice brown colour underneath.
Have you ever, when you've had really bad sunburn, sort of like really hoped that you can peel it away in like more or less one piece? You can leave it somewhere?
No. No, I haven't. That's disgusting.
And it's like, yeah, I molted.
Ah, dude, that's not cool. I can't even begin to say how not cool that is.
You've never wanted to do that?
Never. I can
Ever?
quite categorically say that. Never.
What's wrong with you?
I'm a normal person in that degree, okay? I'm not like you weird, freaky person.
I love the standard disclaimer at the
Yes. Yeah, that had to be made.
I'm switching between. Did I accidentally close down the chat?
I don't know. Did you accidentally close down the chat? You're still
Yes,
in
I
channel.
closed the window, but it's still there.
And as DJ says, it's
Yes, it says eBay.
yeah, Loot Crate's still a lot cheaper than what you'd pay for the stuff if you got it individually, and nothing's stopping you selling the stuff you don't want on eBay. I'd be putting up a lot of eBay auctions. And it's like, hey, do you want Loot Crate? Well, tough, but here's some of the shit from it that I didn't want. Occasionally, they'll have a nice T-shirt that I'm half interested in.
I actually like most of the t-shirts they've done so far.
I already have too many T-shirts. I've still
But again,
got,
I don't really wear t-shirts that often.
I've still got T-shirts in reasonable nick from the year 2000.
I think you've only ever seen me in 2 t-shirts.
Yeah. That
The
was a
Game
while.
Over one and the NaNoWriMo one.
Ah, Convoy. Theme song. Thank you, Phyllis.
You're welcome.
So yeah, Euro Truck Simulator, really good. Wait for a Steam sale and nab a copy because it is worth it. If you're really rich, pay full price. Why not? It's not that expensive, but definitely worth it. Definitely worth it. Worth it even if you have a steering wheel, but even if you've only got the keyboard, still very much worth it. As simulators go, this ranks almost up there as highest train simulator in my world. And for simulators, Train Sim is pretty much the epitome.
Would it be as authentic as the Rock Simulator? That's an actual rock, not a wrestler turned actor who must refer to himself in the third person at all times.
An actual piece of stone. I've not seen Rock Simulator yet running. I've heard the name a few times, but not actually seen anything of it. I've seen Goat Simulator running, and that just looks like a pile of wank. But then I think it was deliberately supposed to be a pile of wank.
It was.
so
You
mission
remember?
accomplished.
I've played a game called Sanctum before. That tower defense game, but it's actually played as a first-person shooter.
Oh yeah.
It is quite nifty. After they released Sanctum 2, the guys that worked on that game went to a indie developer game jam, and their 1 or 2 day project was Goat Simulator as a joke. And the idea caught on with so many people as a goofy why the fuck not thing. They went,
YOLO.
all right, fine, we'll make it. You guys really want to play it? Go right the fuck ahead.
Yeah, why not?
So they went, yeah, so it's like this thrown together game, and it's like $5, so go have fun.
How much is Goat Simulator anyway?
I think it's only a couple of quid, unless it's gone up for some reason.
I don't know. Nowhere near Steam, so screw that. I'm not looking. How about you? Thought of anything yet?
Thought of anything? I have something.
Ooh, fire away.
In the not too distant past, me and my girlfriend had the chance to sit down and watch the trailer for the upcoming Constantine TV series.
Ooh.
Or Constantine.
It is Constantine.
Yeah. But it's not meant to air until October.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't entirely finished yet, because some of the special effects were a bit placeholdery.
Yeah. Even so.
But essentially we have Matt Ryan as John Constantine.
Mm-hmm.
I've forgotten what else he's been in, I'm afraid.
Other stuff.
Yeah. Lucy Griffiths of True Blood playing Liv Aberdeen.
Yeah.
Harold Perrineau of, I think he was one of the two black guys in Lost. As playing the angel Manny. And Charles Harford, who I don't know, playing Constantine's only living friend, Chaz.
Not Dave.
Not Dave. Dave did. I'm sorry, I had to bring up a quick plot synopsis-y thing. The episode actually opens up with Constantine voluntarily admitted into Ravenscar Asylum, where he's been recovering for a good few years, trying to put the past behind him. He's been participating in therapy and letting himself go through electroshock therapy, because he's trying to get rid of the memories of accidentally sending a small girl to hell.
As you do.
As happens, yeah. Except at a point when he's just starting to convince himself that none of what happened was real and it was all part of psychosis, one of the patients is possessed. Yay. The possessed patient then starts to write a message on the wall,
In their own
spelling
poo.
out a name.
In their own poo. Blood is just so
No,
classic.
it's a mixed media mural. Is the best way we can describe it, because it was done with many of the supplies you'd find in an art room in an asylum.
Mm-hmm.
Strangely, I think there are a few sharp-nibbed pens there.
Pens.
Oh, sorry, no, it's mostly painting cockroaches she wrote the message in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. As soon as it spells out the name Liv, we cut to Liv Aberdeen, who's your heroine of this story. And it basically opens with she's coming out from work way too late at night, spooky car park lot, her car's fucking up, thinking
Yeah.
the anti-crash system is convinced there's somebody behind her vehicle.
Mm-hmm.
She gets out, she crosses the car park lot, and nearly gets swallowed in a giant sinkhole that suddenly appears. That's the point where Constantine hops out of a cab he's under, tells her that he's under the order, he made a promise to the ghost of her father to protect her, gives her his card, lets her know that she thinks he's crazy. He says, go ahead, call the police. Here's my number where they can reach me. He does actually have the whole devil may care attitude of the Constantine from the comics down pat.
Ooh. Cool.
Yeah. At which point, he steps out into a crater, and we have Manny, the archangel of vague leading statements.
And this was the full film?
No, this is the pilot episode of a series.
Oh, pilot episode of a series, sorry.
Yeah. It's sort of like an easing into the whole thing.
Yeah.
So there's plenty of stuff there that if you're a diehard Hellblazer fan,
Then there's
you'll see the helmet of Dr. Fate and a couple of throwaway lines and references.
there's lots of nerdgasm going on. But it's not so to the point where if you're new to the
It's
series,
not.
it's not going to
And
disturb your
the
viewing.
overall plot is basically a demon wants to kill her for some reason or other. And apparently,
Fair.
in the Hellblazer world, as soon as you start to notice the supernatural, it can notice you.
Oh.
Yeah. So she's starting to notice some things,
So she's
which means
fucked,
they can find her more easily. Except she's a seer, like her father was.
which is handy.
Yeah, she can actually find trouble spots by scrying. The pendulum, the map thing,
Yep.
all of that stuff. The demon that's following her is actually apparently very involved with electricity and lightning.
Aha!
Given the fact that you're in a city. Yeah.
That should be everywhere.
And, yeah, so you've got an angel that's showing up, giving you vague statements and vague exposition and saying, there are more and more dark forces starting up, Constantine. you might have a chance to earn back your soul.
Ooh. So
Yeah,
a little bit like Reaper.
Yeah, a little bit, except I'm pretty sure the devil won't be quite as charming.
Yeah, the devil is quite cool in Reaper, I've got to say.
They actually solved the problem of the demon and electricity thing, making him powerless, quite well in the climax of the episode, but basically getting somebody to hack into the city power grid and shut down everything.
That's quite cool.
It is, and the effects were kind of schlocky, but I'm still expecting they got a few months to work on for the special effects and post-production.
Because, yeah, as you say, this is the kind of pilot episode, so...
Yeah, my only problem with it is that it focuses an awful lot on John, to the point where his supporting cast, who we were meant to be, seeing on a regular basis, were not developed at all. They felt really, really flat. Like, here's Chaz, he dies a lot.
Oh.
Here's an angel, he will be vague. Here's Liv, we totally need you to do the scrying thing, but I'm going to be a manipulative bastard and not tell her I want her help. Instead, I'll refuse to let a small boy be saved in order to both save her and convince her that she really needs to help me with her magic psychic powers. It really is a bit of an asshole moment at that point.
But what's she going to do?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm just scrolling back up to see if I've missed anything really. I've been kind of rambly about it.
That's okay. It's to talk about. It's not really a review.
Yeah.
Oh, thinking of things to talk about. Do you have any feeler starters this week?
I do. We still can do those. It's okay.
Fantastic.
Yay. So I'm just going up.
In your own time. It's not like this is live or anything.
Yeah. And yeah, that was the other thing I had a problem with as well. The magic system.
Mm-hmm.
In the comics, Constantine will throw together a charm, or a hex, or an exorcism spell out of whatever he's got available. Household fucking objects will do sometimes. Yeah, all of his spells are sort of ramshackle. It's like chaos theory at work. In the pilot, he just shouts, the Bible's greatest hits to get demons out. Like by David's star, I command you. Yeah, it's like, yeah, we're too scared to go with the kooky route that he's got already, but we're also kind of a bit too scared to go full Latin exorcism. Damn. But it was actually really good. I mean, it was a PG outing, so he doesn't smoke anymore.
Which DJ?
They do mention him.
Channel.
Yeah, no. It's okay, they mention nicotine patches, and he doesn't... It's not like smoking is the be-all and end-all of his character. I'm actually okay with the Constantine that doesn't smoke.
Even though, according to DJ, his chain smoking and subsequent lung cancer are a major plot point in the comics.
At this point, it's the case of, during an exorcism, he fucked up, and instead of saving a girl, he sent her directly to hell.
So that replaces cancer?
Yeah, that replaces cancer as to why he's condemned.
I see.
Yeah.
It's cancer surrogate.
Like I was saying, the whole cancer thing was just a plot device as to your soul is, you're going to hell, and we want to give you a ticking time clock to force you to try to get you back in God's good graces. And the whole, your soul's been condemned because you did some really bad shit to an innocent, it serves the exact same function. Pretty much. The thing is, it actually was really good. And the pacing was actually alright, and by the end of it, we were sat there going, okay, when's this coming out? October. Aw, man.
Well, that's like forever away.
Yeah.
I'll
Bear in mind,
come back from holiday by then.
it's actually surprising how not hard it is compared, hard versus soft in terms of, content.
Oh, okay.
These are the same guys that brought out the Hannibal series.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we know they can actually do suspense and pacing and some pretty dark shit. Which is why it's a surprise that there are a few things that are really off in the series.
Early
The
days.
Constantine series. Early days.
They can iron out the bugs.
Pretty much. And yeah, and they can always have him sort of like break down from quitting and just, have a crafty cigarette at some point on the series. And I'm pretty sure it's hard to get cigarettes in a mental asylum anyway. Especially a Hollywood mental asylum where everybody is bug fuck nuts.
True.
No, I liked it. I'm looking forward to the series coming out just to see where it goes.
See how differently it takes things. Get a new perspective on it.
Yeah, pretty much.
DJ is also mentioning in channel the Guardians of the Galaxy, which seems to have been getting a fair few good reviews. It currently has 96% on Rotten Tomatoes, with 27 fresh and 28 reviews in total.
At Comic-Con, they had a fake secret behind the stage camera with the 2 lead actors.
Oh, yeah.
Which they're saying, should we tell them that Guardians of the Galaxy 2 is already scripted, the script's already mostly written? It's like, nah. Eventually they decided we don't have the balls. It's like, there's your bonus for the Guardians of the Galaxy thing.
Yeah.
We also got to see some of Ant-Man and Age of Ultron.
Ooh.
The Age of Ultron trailer was apparently very confusing at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
But...
it will all make sense soon.
Yeah, it all makes sense. It's apparently focusing on Tony Stark again.
Oh, okay.
But slightly less so with every recurring movie.
Fair enough.
But essentially, Ultron has decided that, Earth's mightiest heroes have actually caused more destruction, so he's going to kill them.
Right.
Yeah. I don't know. I haven't actually seen the whole thing yet. I've just seen, a rundown of exactly what's been happening in the trailer.
Yeah.
But essentially, Ultron busts through the wall, tells the Avengers they have to die, and then army of robots attacks them.
Oh, cool.
And also, this whole conversation about, Thor's hammer and how they all think it works.
Even though Thor's now a girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, Hemsworth actually said, what would you like to, for Thor next? He's like, I'd like to be a woman. It would be a great challenge to act. He is good people.
He is good people.
Ah.
Right, so shall we move on to the feeder starters?
Yes. Give me time to bring everything up again.
You have all the time in the world. Although we've only got 10 minutes broadcast time. Apart from that, you've got all the time in the world.
All of it.
All of the times.
Where are they? There it is. So I've got that one. It was only 3 I did last time, wasn't it?
I don't know. You never actually sent me the links.
Didn't I? I thought I put them in channel last time.
Maybe in channel, but you didn't send them to me. Do you think channel gets saved?
No, I'll see if it's in my logs later. Right, if I put them in channel this time, will you?
No. A simple short answer. They'll get lost.
Damn it, TK.
It's not my fault. It's just the way
If
channel
I
works.
message them to you.
Yes, that works.
Okay, this means I also have to bring up Messenger because your link is still in there. Oh, excuse me. So play a thing.
A thing?
A thing.
We don't have a thing for this section.
Oh, damn it.
Not yet, anyway. One will have to get made.
Okay, so I haven't had time to look for anything new this week.
So just fill us in on what we missed last week then.
So last week we had, when it loads, Ninja Pizza Delivery Girl. No, Ninja Pizza Girl, sorry.
Okay.
By Disparity Games. It's a family unit that make games, and it's like, it is Mirror's Edge 2D. it really is nice. They needed 35,000 Australian dollars. They have 20,800 with 15 days left on the Kickstarter.
Not bad.
I say it is sort of a 2D Mirror's Edge thing. You're a pizza girl. You're also a ninja. If you fail, you'll be ridiculed. Girls Make Games presents The Whole Story, which is a prize winner of the GMG 2014 competition, and they basically went, we want money to make this game for reals.
Mm-hmm.
They wanted $10,000. They have 13,000,
Okay. So, congratulations.
and they have 15 days left to go.
Not bad. So they can get a bit more. Time for some fresh
Yeah,
goals.
as soon as they hit that 15,000 mark, they'll be able to expand the game world, add riddles, and an explorable town and castle.
Ooh.
So basically, everything is them just basically pushing out the boundaries of the world more once they get enough money for assets. And it's a bunch of, teenage girls who, made a demo for a game for a contest and done this whole story thing for it, and now they really, really want to make it.
Why not?
And we should support them for doing so.
Indeed.
And the art style is a little bit. It looks like the art style is the pixels of Hyper Light Drifter, but the art direction of Transistor / Bastion. Is how I can describe the screenshots that I see. Lastly, we have Simon's Cat in Off to the Vet over on Indiegogo.
Yep.
9 days left. 74% of the way there, with 203,000 Great British Pounds of the 275,850 they need.
Hey!
Yeah.
So, not long to go, and we still have 9 days left on that one.
We still have 9 days left. And I must now link TK all of the things.
Yeah. No rush.
Do, 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 do.
When it gets a bit closer to the end, if I've still got any cash and if they still need money, I might send a few pence their way.
What, to the Simon's Cat one?
Yeah.
You haven't yet?
Not yet, no.
You're the Simon's Cat fan here.
I know, but if everyone else can pay for it for me, that's so much better.
So we've already established that you are in fact a game, a food slut and a tea slut. Are you now a gaming slut as well?
I'm just a slut.
Well, that answers that then.
Yeah.
You man whore,
Utterly.
in all senses of the word.
Not going to argue with that at all. I could spend time and effort arguing, but yeah, it'd be a waste of time.
That's fine. When people talk about all of my previous relationships, I've got to avoid saying man whore and call myself a man slut instead.
And
But even
slag.
then, you say it slightly wrong. It just makes it sound like you know, are a slut for men.
Yeah. Which you are not.
Which I'm not.
Well, you might be.
I'm a boob slut.
So with the old question, are you a leg or a breast man? We now definitely know the answer.
I'm a yes man.
Are you now?
Yes. What was that?
You took entirely too long to reply to that.
My brain.
It hurts.
I'm inexplicably sleepy.
Pete's still not having any joy with getting his technology working.
It's weird because I have 2 Novatech laptops that have been working perfectly.
Whereas he has one that's failed twice. He now has a similar failure rate to the Xbox 360 upon its first release.
Yeah, I think mine's the second gen.
What, your 360?
Yeah.
Yeah, as long
Which
as
was some of the ones that still had the shutdown problems, but mine has. All it does is the fan has gotten a bit more louder over time.
Does yours have the HDMI port?
Yes.
Yeah, you're fine then.
Although quite a few of that generation went down as well.
Well, no, the HDMI port came in with the Jasper cord. The Jasper cord was the one that fixed a lot of the problems. So you should be reasonably safe.
I also
it's the
have.
ones without HDMI that are 54% failure rate.
I'm also lucky to have one of the permanently flashable DVD drives.
Ooh.
Yay!
Yeah, you. But no Blu-ray.
But
Because
no
HD DVD
Blu-ray.
was the way to go. Apparently.
Hmm.
I'm still amazed that Sony actually won that war. Because
Yeah.
Sony, with technology wars outside of the gaming market, has generally been quite a bad showing. When you consider Betamax, yeah, not so hot. Mini disc, who even remembers that these days? So when they said, "Oh yeah, we got this competing format called
Hey,
Blu-ray,"
if you need a portable recorder, getting a fucking mini disc player is one of the best things you can do.
I've actually been thinking about getting one just for that kind of thing.
It's getting harder and pricier to buy them as the years go by, TK.
I can imagine it would be. But I need a portable device that I can record with.
But yeah, at this point, we actually now have decent, dedicated portable recording devices.
I need a powered microphone slot though, that's the trouble.
I've
I've got a Sony Walkman next to me that has a powered microphone slot. But it's a Sony Walkman.
Most of them should have a powered microphone slot.
Because I've got the stereo microphones. I can't remember the fucking name of them now. But it's the ones that actually sit in the ear. And so-
Binaural.
Binaural, that was the one, thank you. Yeah,
You're welcome.
I've got the proper binaural headphone audio microphone things. So yeah, they sit in your ears and they record as you hear things.
Yeah,
And-
essentially all you need is a matched pair of condensers that are the proper spacing apart.
Yeah, that's it. You need the proper spacing. And it's not so easy to do when you're out on the road. For instance,
No.
filming steam trains.
No, it's not
As
easy
like
to do.
what I do. I film steam trains, and so to get binaural, that would be amazing. Especially in some of the places I film, where you can hear the train way before you can see it. And
Actually,
then,
there's a surprisingly large market and interest area in people that put on a pair of binaural microphones and use that to record tours that they take
yeah,
through cities.
yeah. There's some very nice crowd ones as well, and also in concerts. People have done binaural concert recordings.
But of course, it's very dependent on the type of headphones you're using to listen to get the effect as well.
Not so much. Well, it depends how it's been recorded.
If you're using closed back headphones, you're not likely to get the proper effect. If you've got in-the-ear headphones, it works a lot better.
Yes and no, depending on how it was recorded. Because sometimes the in-ear ones will actually end up giving the impression that the sound's coming from within the skull, which then lessens the effect because it's supposed to be surrounding you, not coming from within you. And that's when the over-the-ear ones work better with it. So, but then other recordings, the vice versa is true, where it's actually more focused for the recording for it being in your ear when you're listening back, and so the over-the-ear headphones don't quite get the effect properly. Different strokes for different folks. Like I say, it is very much how it's recorded.
I also had this in my head going, but TK, the 3D effect was in you all along.
But a proper binaural mixing with a 3D film, that would be awesome. Especially with Oculus Rift.
It'd be a bitch to pull off.
That would be so... well, video games could do it very easily. Films, yeah, I can see that being a lot more difficult. But video games have no excuse.
I'm not sure, for a lot of video games, they'd actually have to artificially mix in things with the proper spatial difference.
I reckon that could be done in engine. It's not like the Unreal Engine.
Maybe.
The Unreal Engine should be able to pull that off.
The problem is that for first-person games, that'd work fine.
Oh yeah, and to some degree for third-person.
But if you had the if you had the option for non Oculus Rift, you still want to have the effect for 3D games for a lot of them. That'd kind of be really, really hard for the engine to keep track of. Just like, where's the player? Should the sound be like from the center of the screen or from when the player is on the screen right now? Oh my head! Oh god, he moved the camera. We're having a hard enough time keeping 30 frames as it is.
Now, it all depends on how you want to go there, because what I would do for that is I'd have it player specific or player character specific and not camera specific.
Yeah.
So the sound would be where the player character on the screen would be expecting the sound to come from, not where the camera's pointing. So
Then you might have that disconnect where the character's one place and you're hearing the noises and you go, oh, it's coming from over there, but my character's on the right, and oh, it's one of my characters. It's actually slightly behind me where the camera is. Fuck, I'm dead.
yeah, deal with it. Playing first person view. I mean, just imagine a fucking Minecraft session with that. You'd know exactly where that fucking creeper was, and you might be able to turn around and kill the bastard before he blows up.
No.
And hearing that hiss will scare the shit out of you more than it does normally.
Yeah, the hiss doesn't scare anybody anymore. It's the fucking Enderman noise.
That's true. Fuck that noise.
Just hearing his bamf from random directions go, ah!
Oh god, imagine that. Imagine that binaurally. Yeah, no thanks. Dear Minecraft, you cannot have binaural audio. That's fine.
I think the way I'd make the Enderman even creepier for binaural noise is actually to have the sound effect come from everywhere. Instead of just where you're pointing, different elements of his groaning noise will come from different directions.
That's sick and wrong and mean. I respect that.
Thank you.
Because we are wrong people.
We are wrong people, and we've filled up a show, people.
I was going to say, we are people who have just completed an episode of TigerTails Radio without any help from the...
Well, actually, we still have 1 minute and 10 seconds to fill, technically. But it's after 10.
Exactly, and despite having 1 minute and 10 left or so, well, the national anthem takes time. So we're good.
I can roll a cigarette and stuff.
And things.
And start digging out the stuff for the bedtimes.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's gonna
joy.
And
We're just slightly easing out. I can just pull down the duvet, I think, and then move the pans and everything off that chair and just drape over the sofa.
And you'll be fine.
Yeah.
And in sleepy times.
I can use Dom Jolie's boom microphone as a pillow.
Which, on that note, does bring an end to episode 19 with Felis on Forever Alone Cam.
Yay.
Oh, poor Felis.
Because we go, oh, poor Fizz. He's the one that fucking wrote it in the show description.
Yeah, Felis did write that. He only brought that upon himself.
I did.
Poor, sad Felis. So on that note, it is a good night from the Felis.
Good night, everybody.
And it's a good night for myself, TK. Thank you very much for watching or listening to this episode of TigerTails Radio. We'll be back next week, maybe with more cast. We're not sure. You never know your luck. And we'll be back with all our regular shenanigans fun. There'll be some done and dusted. There will be some bits and bobs and other things as well, and reviews of the week and stuff. And you can check up on the archives at tigertailsradio.co.uk. You can even send us email at radio@tigertailsradio.co.uk, which is good because you can send us things and we won't lose them quite as easily.
Like cheese. Send us cheese.
80s cheese, not gorgonzola. I'm not a fan of the gorgonzola. In fact, any cheese mentioned in the Monty Python Cheese Shop sketch, I'm not really a fan of.
But does it not taste gooder?
Night, night, everybody.
Night, night.